It's Black Mental Matters, and Vince Bailey along with Makiba. How you doing, Makiba?
I'm doing great, Vince. Thank you.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, we are in the presence of greatness here today as we are in the home of none other than Hannah and Charlie Lucas, and the crowd goes crazy. How you guys doing? How are you two?
We're doing great.
Doing good.
Yeah. Tired.
You working hard?
No, he's not.
School just got out. I'm just generally tired, like
Great.
always.
Good. Well, it's good for you, though, right?
It is good
It's
for him.
good for you.
Yeah.
Keep him busy.
So the reason we're here today, Makiba, you are a huge fan and
Yes.
brought this fascinating story to us. Tell us a little bit about these two young people.
Sure. Well, I met Hannah and her family at Spelman College when we were having a junior preview day. And so the high school juniors were there just hearing all about the college. And they actually came up to me because I was talking about mental health. And they came up to me and they, told me their story, told me about Hannah. And then they presented this information on this app that Hannah and her brother had put together and produced. And I went home and I downloaded it and I shared it with my family. And I've been following Hannah online.
Wow.
And just I've been a fan of her and Charlie's and her entire family ever since then.
Wow, look at it, and the crowd goes crazy again. Look, she can't take it. Well, Hannah, why did we, how did this journey start in this notOK app? That's the name of the app, right? Tell us how you came to even wanting to create something like that.
Yeah, well, it all started a long time ago when I was a little freshie in high school. I was so excited for high school, and I'm totally regretting that looking back on it, but I was really excited for high school. And then the second week of school, I started passing out. It became a frequent thing. I was fainting all the time. I missed over 200 class periods of school my freshman year, when I was taking all honors and all AP classes. So it was a nightmare. And on top of all that, I was being bullied. I was being harassed and even sexually threatened by guys in my class who found out that I fainted. So basically, I lived in a constant state of fear. It was, I never want to go back. Yeah. And because of all that, I spiraled really deeply into depression. I struggled with eating disorders, self-harm, until one night I couldn't take it any longer, and I had a suicide attempt. But luckily, my mom found me at the exact right time in the midst of my attempt, and she saved my life. And
Thank God, yeah.
she really did.
Yeah.
And so after that, you started having conversations with her about your journey or what you were experiencing? Or did she already know?
I don't think she knew prior to my attempt, but my attempt opened both of our eyes. It made me realize that I didn't want to die. I just wanted the pain to end. And it encouraged me and my family to start going to therapy, because I do have a chronic illness and I was diagnosed. My POTS specialist actually recommended that we go to a therapist. Actually, I want to say 1 or 2 weeks right before my attempt. But we ended up deciding that no, we didn't want to go. And then after my attempt, we're like, okay, maybe we should go to try it. So we went to therapy, and it helped a lot. I was able to talk about everything that was going on without feeling like a burden.
Yes.
And it was really helpful.
Oh, good.
Great.
So glad. So well, not glad that these things happen, but glad you were able to process through it, and now what, a superstar, so to
Celebrity.
speak, a celebrity. Young people, Hannah. In these days, we were hearing more and more about young people. What are some of those pressures? What is really going on where so many young people find themselves in a state of depression, or even, what would you say?
I feel like I go to a very competitive school, like an extremely competitive school. So much so that I'm never gonna forget this moment. But when I was a freshman, during the first few weeks of school, me and my mom decided to go see the counselor and talk about how I can get into the right colleges and everything. And the first thing that my counselor did when me and my mom went in there and sat down was she pulled up my grades, and mind you, at that time I had a 4.1 GPA.
Wow.
And she pulled up my class rank, and I was 156th in my class rank
With a
4.1 GPA.
Wow.
It was yeah. It was an experience.
So the pressure, the pressure to achieve, and
Definitely.
yeah,
And to
even
compete.
Yeah.
even when you're high achieving already, it's
Yeah.
like, well, for what? Almost sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, but in the predominantly white area that I do live in, you know, it's a thing that all Black kids grow up hearing, I think, is that you have to work 10 times as hard in order to be seen as half as good. So that's another pressure that I was always striving to be the best, or I had to be the best, because I could never not be the best, or people would look down on me. And so that's definitely another pressure that I had to overcome, and that really did drive me to insanity almost.
Wow. Well, he's been sitting here silently. You have a secret angel here, secret agent man, Mr. Charlie. And Charlie, I mean, you yourself, I mean, you're a young person going through school right now. How are things for you, Charlie? You good?
School's fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that my school's better than most schools because I go to this really cool magnet school called Alliance Academy of Innovation, and it's like a STEM school, and I really like how it's set up because we block all of our classes, and we have half of our classes on one day and half of our classes on the other day.
So lucky.
Yeah,
Wow, that is
so
cool.
the workload doesn't get to you, and then so that you don't stress about everything.
Well,
Yeah.
you were there for your sister. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about the notOK app that you two together have created that is going to just help so many. And that's why we're here today. It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And so you keep it right there. We'll be back in just a moment. It's Black Mental Matters with the lovely Hannah Lucas and big little brother, Charlie.
The aim of Black Mental Matters is to tell experiences with honesty. Therefore, some discussions may trigger an adverse reaction. If a discussion is beginning to upset you, we advise that you please stop listening and talk to your support team.
It's Black Mental Matters with Vince Bailey, Vince the Voice, and Makiba Reed Johnson. And once again, we're here at the lovely home of the Lucases, and we have with us today two young people that are doing some outstanding work in the world of mental health. It's Hannah and her brother Charlie. And thanks again for having us, guys. And let's talk about this. So, as a result, Charlie, of you seeing your sister, go through the challenges that she was. I mean, who came up with the idea of the app itself?
Hannah.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give her the credit for that.
So how did it come? What made you come up with it? Because let's explain. What does the app do first of all?
So the notOK app is a digital panic button that when you press it, it sends a text message to your pre-selected up to 5 closest contacts with your current GPS location and directions.
So you tell, again, 5 of your friends.
Yeah.
And then you're connected. And then what? If you're feeling a certain way, then you...
Right.
Yeah.
So after because I've actually downloaded you guys' app, and my family
Thank
have
you.
downloaded your app. You're welcome.
Don't forget to give us 5 stars.
Oh, I've already done that. You kidding me? I've already done that. So what I like about the app, and I was telling Vince about this, is that once you download it and you select your 5 people, that you have to have a conversation with those people, or they don't know what that contact because they have to confirm or to say yes, it's okay, or yes, I've been, I am now your one of your contacts in case you are not okay, and it forces you to have a dialogue with at least 5 people. Have you all like started hearing back from people that are using the app?
But about a week ago, I actually was checking the reviews and I saw this new review, and it was from a mom, I think, and she said, "Thank you so much for this app. Instead of jumping out of her bedroom window, my daughter pressed this button and was able to get the help that she needed.
Wow.
And we were able to have this conversation." And I was like, whoa.
Excellent. And I also saw where someone from the military reached out from you as well.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
they were
Yes,
saying
ma'am.
that they were using it in their troop, or like, do you know more about that?
Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
You organize the social media and you organize the people
Okay.
outreach.
He doesn't check his email. He's snitching on himself.
Oh, okay.
Hannah, I don't need this today.
So tell me the story. So what happened with the military, huh?
Yes, sir. We have about, I want to say, over 2,000
Wow.
military personnel using the app.
Wow.
Because when you're doing everything like that, it's hard to keep track of your mental health and where you are mentally. So I think it's really important that they have this app, and I'm glad that they reached out to us, and that they recognized how important it was.
You know, what's amazing is I went when Makiba first told me about the app, and you guys went on your website. You guys have been everything
Yes.
at Oprah's house, been eating chicken,
Not yet.
One day.
riding
One
around
day.
with Puff Daddy, you know, just all kinds of accolades. I mean, first, what's the website?
So the website's notOKapp.com.
notOK,
Yeah.
notOKapp.com. And when you go there, and again, just to see the press that has been done. So, I mean, how long a process? When was the app first developed?
So the app launched on January 31st, 2018, and
Okay.
before that it was in development for like
9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
About 9
average
months.
baby.
So from idea,
You had to make it weird.
from an idea 2.5 years ago to
Yeah.
2,000 military and saving kids all over the world.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, yes,
I,
yes.
I also wanted just to kind of circle back to you, Hannah, since you mentioned how you got to this place. So you're in a better place now
Definitely.
with your mental health.
Yes, a lot better.
Okay, and what are you doing, if anything? Because now you've taken care of other people and taking on, you are now a mental health advocate. So your level of self-care has to be elevated.
My level of self-care has definitely increased since starting all of this and being in the mental health world, because you hear a lot of stories, and sometimes it's hard to not let those stories affect you and affect your mental well-being.
Yes.
So I definitely have to be purposeful about taking more time for me, to just get away from that and just calm my mind.
And that's also great that you have a sibling
No.
to support.
No.
You know what?
Not
Back at
really.
you, Hannah.
Siblings do not help with self-care.
You're short and
They're
annoying,
the
and no one
opposite
likes
of
you.
self-care.
But you are able to, and I'm sure that throughout this whole process where you two have been in the development stages and the launching of this app, that you probably had to take some time off and get off social media and kind of take a break. And you do have somebody else that can step in and kind of take up the slack
Yes.
when you do need to take a break.
Yes.
That's very important.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yeah, as you said, you're all grown up now. You're an advocate.
Yes.
This, that, but at the
Yes,
same
sir.
time, they're kids. And so, one of the things that we really try to do with this program is show, folks that no matter what it is, again, that you may be going through, that there is another way, and that not only that young people. They're on top of this. You guys are on top of this thing now. I mean,
Yes.
we're hearing more and more.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Not to brag,
but I
but
do have this app that's So what's next with the app? I mean, so is it evolving into something? I'm sure you had an idea of what it was going to be like when you were creating it, but then what has it become?
Well, it's kind of funny because when we first launched, we were like, okay, we got this. We have an app. It's just gonna be a button.
Right.
And then we launched, and then we realized It has to be more than a button.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny after every update that we do, and we think that we actually nailed every single part that everyone wants.
And then and then we're
oh.
doing a panel or something, and someone's like, "Excuse me," and they ask the one thing that we didn't think about, and we're sitting up there like,
Right.
Yeah.
But it is again just a wonderful troopers over there having a good time. We're gonna be talking to your mom in just a moment because we're so again it's this family affair, something else, ain't it?
Oh, it absolutely is. I'm loving this.
And which is so important in the world of mental health, you know, having the support system that you do. So, any words you want to impart upon the audience before we bring Mom in? First, we'll start with you, Charlie. Look in that cameraman and tell those folks, tell them something good, Charlie. Give them something positive. Serious. Go ahead, Charlie.
Just remember that it's okay to be not okay, and whatever that means to you. It can mean that it's okay to be you. It can mean that it's okay to be who you are, and you're never alone.
Very good. Thank you so much. How about
Mine's
you?
better than Hannah's.
How about you, Hannah?
"Because you steal mine."
Look right in that camera and tell
You
us.
didn't copyright it.
Technically. Have to think for a minute.
Sure.
Sorry, it's cold outside. My body is still processing a lot.
I understand.
My piece of advice would be, thank you. My piece of advice would be, if you do have an idea, just go for it. I mean, me and my brother, we literally, like, I came up with this, I told him about it, and we did it. And I do understand that we come from a place of privilege, and not everybody may be able to do what we did, but you can still do something. So.
Excellent.
Very good. Very good. Our young people, there's hope.
Yeah.
There's hope.
Yes,
and,
they're making change.
Yeah. Not okay app. Thank you again. We have the developers, the creators, the superstars. Make sure you go to the website. Make sure you download the app, and make sure you spread the word about this great venture. It's Black Mental Matters. We'll be back in just a moment.
The aim of Black Mental Matters is to tell experiences with honesty. Therefore, some discussions may trigger an adverse reaction. If a discussion is beginning to upset you, we advise that you please stop listening and talk to your support team.
It's Black Mental Matters with Vincent Makiba, and we're here again today live at the Lucas home here. The founders of the notOK app, and we brought in now, there she is, Miss Hannah Montana doing her thing. Came in a brother, Charlie, but now we have Mom here, and welcome, Miss Robin Lucas.
Thank you.
Well, let's first of all just say thank you for what you have developed, and for these kids. You know, I know it's been a journey for you. Talk about, again, it
I
started.
wanted to actually get, and I'm going to get a little bit serious here, so just warning to the listeners and viewers. I'm really impressed by what you've done here, because we study so much about African American families, Black mental health. Statistically speaking, when children disclose that they are having suicidal ideation or even have attempted suicide, it's usually no communication about that, and even anger and embarrassment and shame. So for you to have been the type of parent to find your child in distress and then get her to where she is now and help her move along through this process, not in only getting her help, but getting the resources that all three of you needed for your family, and for helping her to develop an app to help others. Can you tell us your journey in that? Because that could not have been something that was just simple, because you did not see this coming.
Well, I'm all about honesty, right?
Yes.
We did not talk about mental health. My primary focus, when she was fainting, was to get her to stay at school all day, because, without finishing school, she can't go to college.
Right.
Without staying in school all day, her grades are going to drop. Here she was fainting all the time, and I'm like, let's address that. I never realized that she had something going on, in her head and emotionally, until I did walk in on her that night. And I wasn't even planning on going upstairs to her room.
Wow.
Because, I mean, I got to be honest, I was frustrated. I was tired. You know, here's my kid who I'm like, okay, so you're not going to do the IB program and you're not going to do all these things that we had already planned out. And, you know, we planned out a life. And it just was like, nope, not happening. So that night I was just tired. I had to pick her up from school that morning because the nurse called me. It got to the point where I would drop her off at school. There's a Starbucks not too far away.
Like right across
right across the street from her school. I'd go and work at Starbucks and just wait for the call. And the nurse called me. I packed up my laptop. I got in the car, and I'm just, like, mad at everything. You know, like, God, seriously, why again? Can you just stay at school one time? And, you know, you're frustrated, but you can't let her see that.
Right.
You know, you just go in, you put a smile on, you're like, hey, I'm here to get Hannah. You're, like, dying inside because it's, like, nothing is really there to help. And it just... You know, it was hard for me. You know, it was hard for me. So I picked her up, went home, I had to carry her upstairs. I think Charlie carried her upstairs.
I always carried her upstairs. You just take the credit for it.
And maybe my husband did.
Carried her downstairs, did her chores, did everything.
But that night,
not paid.
Yeah, that night I was just really tired. I was exhausted, just soul weary. And I went upstairs. Something, you know how we say something told me?
Yes.
Something told me to go upstairs. And I went upstairs and, you know, the little light was on. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because they're not allowed to have technology upstairs. But I went upstairs anyway and saw her with a mouthful of pills. And I'm like, are you serious? What are you doing? And I just held her. I cried. She cried. Both of us cried.
Yeah.
I didn't know what else to do. You know, I mean, nobody tells you what to do or how to prepare or anything like that. And it was just eye-opening, you know? I mean, and after that, I was like, okay, there's something more than just her physical state.
Right.
And we need to address that. And, I mean, it was a point of contention between my husband and I because he's a Pentecostal, you know, born, raised in the South, you know. Black people don't have mental problems, right? We have demon possessions.
Yes.
And, we're
not praying hard enough.
Yeah, you need to pray. You need to break out more anointing oil. I'm like, no. I put my foot down and I was very adamant about her getting the help that she needed. And we actually found out through the therapy that Charlie suffers from panic attacks. I had no idea that what he did was panic attacks, you know?
Right.
He would just be freaking out and he's just like completely frozen and I couldn't figure it out. You know, we were just like, hey, man up. Suck it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Be tough, you know, like you'll be all right. Suck it up, man.
Which makes it worse.
And
Yeah,
he
so much
was
worse.
literally having panic attacks. So it was a bunch of education on my part, on our whole family's parts. We laugh about it now because we say that the therapist actually came to our house. So we were doing individual therapy, we were doing group therapy, family therapy, and Trooper, our dog, was actually in the room with us. So like the whole family was going through therapy, even the dog. I don't know if it helped him because he's still bad, but he still has anxiety. But you know, whatever. But you know, I mean, I had to get over myself in order to get her and him the help.
Yeah.
It's not about me. You know, her mental illness, his mental illness, the things that they go through, it's not a reflection on my parenting. You know, I'm not a crappy parent. I mean, I suck sometimes. I'm an okay-ish parent, you know?
I think you're a great parent.
But it's like, I didn't screw them up. You know, it's not about me. Well, I mean, they might beg to differ. But, you know, at the end of the day, as a parent, you have to get over yourself. You have to get over that part of yourself that pride. You know, as a parent, you don't want anything to be wrong with your kids. You don't want anything to be going on with them.
And that's a huge part when your children enter therapy, is that you're going to learn things that maybe you did unconsciously as a parent, and you can't take.
I found out a lot about my parenting style because of therapy. You know, the things that I thought were healthy were not healthy. You know, you don't need to beat a kid. I mean, that's just another conversation. If you want to do that later, we can do that. But we need to address that.
Is normalized
you know, you don't need to physically hurt your child, because
Right.
that's what it is. You can discipline them through love. You can discipline them in different ways. I take away their phone and they act like they're about to die, and I'm like, I have the phone.
She doesn't even take it away. She
Right? I
doesn't take it
limit
away.
social media, and it's like the biggest punishment
No,
for
we'll
them
pick
ever.
up our phones and none of our apps will work. We'll be like, this is blocked and this is blocked and this is blocked.
Oh,
Well,
silly.
I can't even make phone calls. It's sad.
But listen,
Yeah.
listen. You guys got it made, okay?
Absolutely.
Everything is okay, and a big part of it because of the support that you provided, Mom. Now, do you have any input on the app itself? Is there some things that Mom brought to the table, Charlie or Hannah? Did Mom bring
I
some
think they're
ideas?
laughing at the dog right now. No, they shot down all my ideas.
Oh no.
I was like, because I looked at it from an older person's point of view, right? I'm like,
boomer.
oh, well, you
Yeah.
need,
Yeah.
not a boomer.
Okay.
Let's put that out there. No, they were like, I suggested they have an intake form. They were very adamant about not having an intake form.
Yeah.
But
We
we,
have to have one.
If the
They're-
registration
they are-
process is too long, then no one's
yeah,
actually
they are
gonna
going to
use
have
it.
to include a small intake form because everyone wants demographics now.
Yeah.
But no, a lot of the ideas that I had, they shot down. And I mean, I'm glad because at the end of the day, it's their app,
their
you know.
app. And this
I'm-
thing is coming into a business. I mean, it is a thriving. You may not have to go to school, girl. I mean,
No,
yeah, you
she's
do.
going to go to school. No,
this-
she has
May
to go
not
to
have to
school.
pay for it, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah, let's not pay for it, but she can go.
Well, any college would be it would be
Absolutely.
a blessing for to
Yeah.
have either of these two very smart young people. And Robin, I just God bless you, man. You have really done. You guys have really put together something that is helping a lot of people. And what do we need? Let's see. How can they find the app? Contacts or how can they do it again?
Well, you can find the app at www.notokapp.com. Our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook is notOK app, and you can find it on the App Store, the Google Play Store.
Google Play and
We're on everything,
yeah.
And it's not okay, NOTOK.
and it's
App.com.
completely free.
And it's completely
We're a
free.
501c3 nonprofit, so please donate.
Yes.
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
Please.
please,
You have to say that in narrator voice.
please donate.
There it is. Robin, do you have any final words for parents that might be seeing their children have the same type of symptoms or issues, and what they can do to help support their
Yeah.
kids the way you have?
Get over yourself. Honestly. As a parent, you got to get over yourself. They need help. You know, mental illness shows up in kids around this age anyway. I mean, if they're going to have to deal with anxiety, which is usually generational, so you might need to go get some help too. But you know, anxiety is inherited, you know. But, you know, as a parent, you get them help. You want them to be around. It's the quality of life, man. At the end of the day, you want healthy, happy kids. You want healthy, happy kids to turn into healthy, happy adults. And you yourself need to be a healthy, happy adult because you're dealing with stuff that you need to get addressed, and all y'all need to go to therapy. I mean, it's true. And there's nothing wrong with medication. You can pray and take medication and see a therapist, and at the end of the day, you're gonna hold hands and sing "Shiny Happy People."
Yes.
Because that's what life is.
I love it. Thank you, Robin.
Sure.
Yes, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Not Okay, and just God bless. Thank you so much. Again, that's what it's all about, everybody. These are Black Mental Matters. Thanks for listening.